therefore call to order the February 24th, 2021 meeting of the Springfield Board of License Commissioners at 5:34 p.m. on Zoom. And Commissioner Cade and Commissioner Espinosa and Commissioner Signator are present, so we can continue. The first order of business is approval of the minutes of the hearing of February 10th. All right.
Yep.
And I was a little confused. Now, the beginning of the first order of business on those minutes says approval. Now, these were the minutes from the last hearing. So these are the minutes from February 10th. And it says approval of the minutes for the hearing held on Wednesday, February 10th. So that can't be right. So that should have been January 27th. Does that sound right?
No, I think it's right.
That's right.
This was the meeting.
Why wouldn't it be February 10th, Peter? Today's the 24th. So the last meeting was on the 10th.
Right.
So, well, these are the minutes of the meeting of February 10th. And so first order of business is approval of the minutes of the previous hearing, right? Which would have been January 27th.
The previous meeting would have been January 27th. I don't have them in front of me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So commissioners, we agree on that? That makes sense?
I'm a little confused. I'm thinking that these are the minutes to the last meeting we had on the 10th.
That's my understanding, Roland.
Yeah, I don't have them in front of me, but are they the minutes from the 10th?
Yes.
Yeah, it says the meeting called to order on February 10th. And the first order of business was approval of the minutes of the hearing held on Wednesday, February 10th.
Right,
Oh,
so that was January 27th.
I see what you're saying, Peter.
Yeah.
You're right. You're correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and the other one is between the second and the third order of business. We had food zone. It says the licensee did not appear. We have Alejandro.
Yes.
Were you? What were you? You were here at the last meeting on the 10th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So on February 27th, you were not there.
No, sir.
Right.
January 27th.
You were not there, but you were there on the 10th. And
yes,
and
I'm sorry, Peter, but I think he wasn't. He didn't make the last meeting, which was the 10th, which is why he's here today.
Yes.
Okay.
So he was here on the 26th, but he did not come to the 10th, to the meeting on the 10th.
Okay. So so he was, as of the meeting of the 10th, he did not appear. He was there.
Correct.
The prior meeting. Right? Because this says licensee did not appear, and he did appear on the 27th.
On the 27th, he did, but not on the 10th.
Okay. And then for Yad Foods, Kimberly, so it says licensee appeared pro se, and you did not come because you were not done with planning board.
That is correct.
Right. So this is your first appearance here, correct?
Go ahead.
Right. So the second order of business should say licensee appeared pro se, because that was January 27th. And for the third order of business, it should say licensee either did not appear because they were not done with planning board or something to that effect. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. So does anybody have anything else?
No.
No. All right. So I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the minutes with the change of, in the first order of business, they be the minutes that were approved were from the meeting of January 27th. the second order of business that the licensee did appear.
Did appear for the 20, yes, for the 27th, yes.
And for the third order of business, the licensee did not appear because they were not ready for prime time. They were still at planning board.
Right.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Cade.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Thank you. All right. Now, on to, let's take food zone. Alejandro.
Yes, sir.
So this is a continued, we kind of skipped a meeting, but this is a continued petition for a change of manager for food zone, manager of record being Alejandro Mirabal. And I ask Nemaco, have we received any correspondence on this petition since the previous hearing?
No, sir.
No.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, I make a motion. We go then into discussion and vote. Do the commissioners have anything they want to add or ask?
No.
Okay, make a motion. We go into discussion and vote on approval of the new manager for food zone. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, this is a bifurcated meeting. This is the second meeting of the hearing of the new manager. We have no additional input. So I would make a motion to approve a petition for change of manager for D&F Food Service Incorporated, DBA Food Zone International, located at 355 Belmont Avenue, manager of record being Alejandro Mirabal. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second.
Commissioner Cade.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Alejandro.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, and we will go. I want to skip to change of manager for MGM. That change of manager being Marcus Torrey. Nemaco, have we received any correspondence on the change of manager from for MGM since the last hearing?
No, sir.
No. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Torrey?
No.
No.
Okay, I make a motion to go into discussion and vote on change of manager for MGM. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Cade.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Hearing no other input on a manager, change of manager for MGM to Marcus Torrey, I make a motion that we approve a petition for change of manager for Blue Tarp Development LLC and DBA MGM Essentials, located at 1 MGM Way, Marcus Torrey, manager of record. Do I hear a second?
Second.
And Commissioner Cade.
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa.
Yes.
Mr. Signature, yes. Thank you for coming, Mr. Torrey.
All right. Thank you, commissioners.
Good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
Okay. Moving on, we have a petition for a new all alcohol restaurant license for Hamel's Bar and Grill, 278 Main Street, Indian Orchard. And we have with us Kimberly and Orlando. And who is presenting? Miss Kimberly?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're on.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right. So the purpose of this presentation is we're going to go over our security plan. All right. So Hamel's Bar and Grill, 278 Main Street, Indian Orchard, 01151. This is our security plan for 2021. So the overview is the safety of our patrons and employees is our number one priority. We have put together a plan to ensure that our guests and employees are safe and following all laws and guidelines set by our local, state, and federal authorities. In this document, we'll go over 3 lines of defense. We plan to operate from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 a.m. on a given day. From 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., we plan on letting patrons in freely without being searched or ID'd at the door. No patrons under the age of 21 will be allowed on the premise after 9 p.m. On nights that we plan to open late, we will ask everybody that is in the bar prior to 9 p.m. to exit and to re-enter to ensure safety for our guests and to make sure that they are not carrying any weapons or illegal contraband. With COVID-19, all of that is at stake right now, we plan to abide by all CDC and Massachusetts COVID-19 guidelines. Prior to entering the building, all guests will be required to wear a mask. Upon entering, we will have a staff member checking temperatures. Guests will be required to wear a mask unless consuming food or beverages. And there will be multiple sanitization stations along our establishment. We will provide safe distancing from other patrons, and we will not exceed the occupant restrictions that the state has placed on this type of establishment. All employees will also abide by the COVID-19 safety protocols. Our first line of defense on nights when we're open late, we'll have a security guard posted at the front door. His or her responsibilities will be to identify individuals who are seeking entry into the building to make sure that they are of legal age. The security guard will then search every individual to make sure that they are not carrying any weapons or illegal contraband. They will also be responsible for denying individuals who are showing signs of being overly intoxicated. All security guards must obtain a TIP certification prior to employment. Both male and female guards will be posted at the door on nights that we plan to open up late. Our second line of defense, our servers and our bartenders, our second line. They will ensure that nobody under the age of 21 is served any alcoholic beverages by checking IDs. We will also be trained to oversee everybody that is drinking, and we will be responsible for cutting off individuals who maybe become more over intoxicated or loud, obnoxious, and or any individuals that's looking for trouble from further drinking in a non-confrontational way, as taught in our TIPS course. All bartenders, servers, and security personnel will be TIP certified prior to the employment. Our third line of defense, security personnel will be posted at the back door and will oversee the parking lot from the back deck to ensure that nobody tries to enter from that back door. A bar manager will always be on site to help monitor patrons. If hosting an event, additional security personnel will be on hand to help monitor guests and parole the property. All security personnel will be given a bright yellow shirt with the word security written on the front and the back in black letters. All staff members will be required to wear a shirt with the restaurant name and or the word staff written on the back as well. Enforcing the rules. If a patron becomes unruly, they will be issued a verbal warning stating that if they continue their behavior, they will be asked to leave the premises. If verbal warnings are not enough and unruly behavior continues, security guards will approach the patron and request that they leave. If the patron denies, security will then try and guide the patron out of the establishment. If still unsuccessful, the police will be called and the patron will be escorted out by police. Going forward, this patron will no longer be allowed to enter our establishment. Proper documentation of all incidences will be noted. We have zero tolerance for any type of violence. No greater force will be used unless in self-defense or protecting another patron from being assaulted or injured. No alcoholic beverages are allowed outside the premises, and definitely no loitering. CCTV. We have security cameras covering all areas of the building: front entrance, back entrance, parking lot, bar area, back dining area, pool table area, and our kitchen. Should anything occur, we have video footage for playback available. The end of the night closing, when we're open late, security will stop letting patrons in at 1 o'clock. At 1:15 a.m. will be the last call for alcohol. By 1:30 a.m., all of the lights will be on and we will start asking patrons to leave. Security will be posted in the parking lot from 1:15 until all patrons leave and the parking lot is empty. By 1:45 a.m., the bar will be completely empty and all staff and security guards and management will ensure that everybody who is leaving is not overly intoxicated. If a patron is obviously intoxicated, we will offer a ride share at no cost to that person. The health and safety of our patrons is our #1 priority. So the goal here is to ensure that nobody is in our parking lot or surrounding areas, and free of all patrons prior to 2 a.m. on nights that we are open late. Are there any questions?
What days a week do you plan on being, you said on nights that you're open late, you're not going to be open till 2 a.m. every night?
That is correct.
Do you know, like, have an idea what night? Friday, Saturday, probably?
Yes, most likely on Fridays and Saturdays. So that is correct.
And this is a restaurant, yes?
Yes, it is. It's a restaurant and bar.
You're currently running a catering service? Is that what I recall from planning board?
So we have a restaurant down the street, so Yard Food, and we do offer catering as well.
Oh, all right. So you have a restaurant. Now,
yes.
Is that going to close and you're moving here, or are you going to keep both of them open?
So we're going to keep both of them open.
Oh, okay. All right. And have you ever been employed or in a restaurant where you managed alcohol service before?
I haven't been in a restaurant where I've managed it, but I've been on like leadership, as far as I've been approached by managers who have said, Kimmy, you know what, you're amazing. We would love for you to be management here.
But you didn't take the job?
No, at the time I did not take the job.
Okay. How about Orlando?
Yes, well, my family owned a bar previously. I was younger then, so I wasn't really managing or nothing like that, but I've been in the bar environment before.
Okay. Was that in Massachusetts?
Yes. You probably know him, Emerald City Cafe, going years back. My stepdad, Andrew Poiser, he was managing it for a while.
Emerald City Cafe, was that the one on Bridge Street?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. This is a big step up in responsibility.
I understand.
A liquor license. So is this your manager of record is going to be Kimberly?
Correct.
Is this going to be your full-time job, Kimberly, or are you going to be balancing this and the restaurant?
Balancing this in the restaurant.
Okay, that's a lot of work.
Yep, and I accept the challenge.
Okay, so how many hours do you feel you're going to be over here at Hamel's?
So contingent upon this whole approval process, whenever I'm needed, I'll be here. I'm actually a resident of Indian Orchard. I live right down the street, so I'm very in close proximity to the restaurant and bar and grill here. I definitely would like to add that I have worked in environments in my work experience with serving alcohol, such as Applebee's, and I've also worked in fine dining, and I've served alcohol at that capacity.
As a waitress, a waiter,
yes.
All right, wait person. Okay. How many employees do you feel you're going to have that are going to be serving alcohol?
Well, here's the thing, because it depends on like a given day. On a typical day, we plan on having a bartender and a server and somebody in the kitchen, of course. But on nights when we're like, say we're doing a bar night or hosting the game or something, we'll definitely have more bartenders. So we're looking at maybe 5 to 10 rotating.
Okay. Are either or both of you tip certified?
Yes, we are.
You both are?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone who is serving alcohol, we want to have tip certified, even if they're not. If you're just calling them in, as a part-time bartender, they have to know how to card somebody, make sure that the ID is valid. So we want to tap tip certification on file, a current tip certification for everyone who is serving alcohol.
Not a problem.
And if there is a service to minors or if there's a disturbance in alcohol related, we're going to want to see the tip certification for the person who served the alcohol. So make sure you have a current copy on file in your office.
Understand, not a problem. Everyone that tip certified for sure.
Okay. And Kimberly, you live down the street, you said?
Yep, I'm right on Hampshire Street.
Okay.
About a minute and a half away, 2 minutes away.
Okay. Now, as the manager of record, Kimberly, you are responsible for everything happens on the premises, whether you're there or not. So if there is a disturbance or over-serving or serving to minors, you will be answering to this commission regarding that. Do you understand and accept that responsibility?
I accept and I understand.
Okay. We do have a letter of support from the Indian Orchard Citizens Council. I have sent it to the commissioners today, and I sent it, Namako, I think I sent it to you as well. February 8th, 2021, to whom it may concern, Mr. Orlando Roberts called me after I received an email from Gloria DiFilippo on behalf of the planning board regarding his ability to keep the new business open until 2 a.m. On Thursday, February 4th, I sent an email out to our Indian Orchard Citizens Council board members asking for a motion to vote on this item. When he came to our council meeting in January, we all assumed he would be operating just like the previous bar and grill. The majority of the board members responded to the email or reached out to me individually to agree that Mr. Roberts' new establishment, Hamel's Bar and Grill, should be able to stay open until 2 a.m. There were 2 board members who did not respond at all. We believe this is going to be an asset to our Main Street, and we look forward to his grand opening. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. And she gives her phone number and email address, Zaida Govan, president of the Indian Orchard Citizens Council. So we do have that input from the public. And I actually am surprised because as I was asked by the planning board, and you heard me in the planning board meeting, this has typically been a problem area for us. There's the previous managers just couldn't seem to get their problems resolved there, which is probably why they kind of gave up the ship on that. So I'm going to just let you know, you need to be extra diligent in this location because there are problem-causing patrons, and you want to make sure that they do not enter and cause problems for you, as they did for the previous owner-manager of Abika. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I actually have a couple of questions. Ms. Kimball, how long is the retention period for the cameras? Do you know?
Orlando will be able to answer that question.
Mr. Robert, how long is the retention?
That's not something I looked at, but let me double check it because I'm right here in front of the cameras right now. So,
okay.
Yeah, how far back we could go.
And Peter, I heard that you mentioned that this area in the past has been problematic due to some patrons causing issues here. I just want to put it out there that myself and Mr. Roberts, we don't have any time or tolerance for any type of disobedience or disrespect at our business establishment. We want to be able to offer this for the community, and we want to be able to have this venue as a place to serve for multiple events. So we're going to ensure that we keep things tight. We're going to make sure that everything is legit, and safety is our #1 priority, because we definitely have families at home that we would like to go to and go back to at the end of the night. So that's very important to us.
Okay, so to answer that question, I am back in 2020. This is November 2nd is when it's starting to delete now of 2020.
November 2nd is starting to delete. So it holds it for 3 months?
Yeah, that's what it seems like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost 3 months.
So,
wow.
Ms. Campbell, if you can add that to your security plan, and let me just tell you why that's important, right? Because if there's an incident that occurs, there has to be enough of a retention where police, it might take them 30 days to get to you to ask you to pull the tape. So, or I'm dating myself now, pulling the video, right? So we want to make sure that there's a sufficient amount of retention so that if in fact there is a problem, not that I anticipate there will be, but that they can go back and retrieve the video. And then my other question is that, well, my other statement is this. So in the city of Springfield, in order to operate entertainment after 1 a.m., you need a late night entertainment permit. So in essence, what the License Commission is able to do, if it so chooses, is to approve a license until 2 a.m., right? So you can serve liquor up until 2 a.m. However, all entertainment has to cease at 1 o'clock. So that includes TVs, jukeboxes, well, I don't even update myself again. I don't even know if you guys still have those, but you know what I mean? There can be no entertainment. So no music, no TVs, unless you obtain a late night entertainment permit from the city. And the mayor is the one who issues those. With respect to the late night entertainment, what is required is that you operate for at least 3 months, and that your, well, if in fact your meals supersede your liquor sales, then you can forego the late night entertainment permit requirement. But in lieu of, if that is not the case, then you have to have a hearing before late night is established. So again, you can serve liquor till 2, but all entertainment has to end at 1 o'clock a.m. So I just want to make sure you guys are clear about that.
And just, I have a question on that.
Sure.
So to obtain that late night entertainment permit, we would have to sell more food and liquor, you're saying, correct?
To be exempt from the requirement. But,
to be exempt requirement.
Yeah, and that's checked every 3 months.
Understand.
Yeah.
But we could also obtain a permit from the mayor.
Correct, after hearing. So, okay. And it's important because sometimes, well, not a lot of times, but what has occurred in the past is people have assumed or figured since they could sell liquor to 2, they could have the music playing, right, till the lights come up. And in the interim, what happens is they get violated for having entertainment after 1, which is troublesome when they come to actually get the late night permit, because they've already been in violation prior to them coming before, and actually I do those hearings, coming before the hearing to have that allowed. So I just want to make sure you're clear about that, so you don't go into any violations.
And I do have one more question. So
sure.
To that late night permit, we have to come back in front of the licensing board also? Or just
the late night entertainment? No.
No.
The mayor has statutory authority over entertainment licenses. Yeah.
Understand. Okay.
Okay. And that's all I have, Peter.
Alicia, the late night entertainment license, does that require filing a security plan?
It does.
Okay. So in the security plan, you would want to know what the retention of the cameras are, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, if those, nothing really happening there at the place right now, right? It's because you're not open. So my question from our police officer here is, if those cameras are motions activated and you're closed most of the time and there's nobody in there, it may not be 30 or 90 days or whatever it is. It may be just when the camera is being triggered. So you would want to, we require at least 30, Alicia?
Yeah, that would be preferred. I mean, we don't need 90 necessarily. Right. I mean, the longer the better, but 30 would be a minimum, just to allow the officers
to Orlando, before you apply for that late night entertainment license, could you verify that the retention really is 30 days, so that when you open and people are in there moving around, it's actually recording for 30 days?
Yes, I could verify that. That's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And I'm not so worried about recording, right? Because it'll record, you can go back, right? But I want to make sure that the tape or the video is retained, right? So there has to be some look back where you can pull up February 1st if the police come and they want it, right?
Right.
That
so it's a hard drive, and the hard drive it has everything. You could pick time and you'll have it all there.
Great.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Commissioners, have any questions?
Yeah, I have one in reference to, I know this is a pretty difficult time during the pandemic to open up anything, but how do you plan to recruit and entice people to come to your new restaurant? What kind of activities will you have planned?
Well,
I'll take this on. That's a great question. So we want to offer different types of activities and events. So we can host board meetings. We can do bingo. We can do paint parties. We can do christening gatherings, Baptists. We can do birthday parties and things of that nature. But we also can have this as a place to host fundraising events. So there's so many different type of events that we can host here.
Okay. What's the capacity?
75.
75?
Correct.
Okay.
Anything else? No. Okay. Just as with the planning board, the license commission meetings are bifurcated. So we divide them up into two sections, 2 weeks apart, so that we can get public input on the decision. And I would make a motion then to continue this hearing until February or March 10th, our next hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signator, yes. We will see the two of you on March 10th.
Thank you. I really have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, King.
One thing I should have done and saved Mr. Patel a lot of, oh, he's still here. Sanjay.
Hi, how are you, Peter?
I am well. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you.
And Sanjay, you have only appeared once before the planning board, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so, but you advertised, you paid for an ad for tonight's meeting, correct?
Yes, we
right.
did.
So the planning board's a bifurcated meeting where you have to go twice and then you come to us for 2 hearings. So you're not ready for the license commission yet because you haven't finished with planning board. So I wished I had told you this so you could have gone on to do better things than listen to us. So I was going to make a motion to continue the petition for a new beer wine package store license for Sparky's at 429 Boston Road till March 10th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade? Gotta unmute Andrew. You're muted.
Wow. Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signator, yes. Sanjay, we will see you on March 10th.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. The other petition we have is for a new late renewal is Jignesh's, yes, okay. Is a new late renewal for a new, for a beer and wine package store license at One Stop Boston Road. That is 75 Road. And Jignesh, you are the manager of record, is that correct?
No, my wife Mega is the manager.
Hello.
Chairman Attorney Truax is here. Mega Patel, record.
Yeah.
Mega is the manager of record.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. And Mr. Truax, you are representing?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
And
Delayed, unfortunately. I am here.
okay, so it's almost March. Do you know what the cause of the new late renewal is?
Well, I know exactly what happened. I learned about it after the fact. So they sent in their renewal on, I believe, November 28th by the mail. I pulled up the tracking order, and the tracking order went from November 28th, Springfield. It then went to Connecticut, Pittsburgh, Warrendale, Pennsylvania, back to Pittsburgh, then to Charleston, West Virginia, and then back to Pittsburgh, then to Springfield for a couple days, and it was delivered to the City Hall on December 10th.
Awesome, well traveled. Sometimes it's best to just bring it down to City Hall and hand deliver it to the License Commission if you're running late.
I think they were telling me that they were having trouble when they went down to the city hall, that there wasn't anyone that would let them in to hand deliver it. There was something about that. My clients can tell you about what happened.
Yeah, I can tell you that that's not accurate. I did have a conversation. He came to our office, I believe, a couple of times. But you know, City Hall is by appointment now. So you have to make an appointment. But we're there 5 days a week in terms of answering calls and making appointments. So I'm not sure what happened. It's interesting that, you know, you gave us the recitation of where the item had gone, but it was initially represented that they brought it to City Hall.
Yeah, I think they tried. I mean, they'll have to speak for themselves, but I think the story was that they bring it to City Hall, and then they couldn't, so they decided to send it by post office.
Mm-hmm. It's neither here nor there, but I would just, you know, represent that. Again, I had a discussion with him, and it was clear to me that it hadn't been attempted to come to City Hall, but we're still here in March, and now we're going to resolve it. So I'll let you continue, Mr. Commissioner.
Okay, so this is just nothing has changed corporate-wide, right?
All the parties are as when it was initially approved.
Okay, and you are eagerly anticipating approval of your. So, do we know if I'll ask Alicia and Namako. Do we know, is the ABCC still accepting these late renewals by email?
I have not received any communication regarding that yet, but it's something we can actually follow up tomorrow to see if they are still receiving by email.
All right, okay. So the manager is still the same, all of the corporate structure is still the same, and we had just had an issue with submitting it timely, and then the application got sent around the Northeast. So
and there's no alcohol being sold there now, correct? All the alcohol has been removed?
Everything's been cut off, everything's been taken out.
Okay.
They received notice and they filed the order of the notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Officer Delamarter is here and he has testified he's visited there and that everything is secured. Yeah. Okay. So commissioners, do you have any questions?
No.
No.
No. All right. I will make a motion. We go into discussion and vote then on this new late renewal. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay. So we have one of our longest late renewal intervals, but hoping that this will get handled by the ABC via email like the other ones. I don't see a reason why we would not approve this, so I will make a petition to approve a new late renewal package store application for beer and wine license for One Stop Boston Road, 475 Boston Road specifically, with Mega Jignesh Patel, the manager of record. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, so Attorney Truax, I would contact the License Commission office tomorrow, and they will have information on whether this can be submitted via email to the ABCC and what that procedure is. Okay?
Fine, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, good night.
Thank you, good night. All right. All right. Where do we should go? So now we have a pre-hearing conference for Malacon is the next item, and there is some video that Attorney Hagan, were you able to obtain that video?
I was informed today, Mr. Chairman, by Namako that they have it available, so I'm going to try to get over there tomorrow or by the end of the week and pick it up.
All right, so you're requesting a continuance on that to review that video because you haven't seen it yet, right? Okay, until March 10th, is that going to be enough time?
Maybe the meeting after, is there a meeting after that?
Yeah, March 24th.
Let's do that, let's take that. Assuming you're okay with that.
Attorney Days, are we okay with that? March 24th?
Namako? I believe so. I don't know, Peter, but I believe so.
I have no objection.
Okay. I will make a motion to continue the pre-hearing conference for the December 25th disturbance at Malacon till March 24th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, that item is continued to March 24th. Next item on the agenda is a final hearing for a failure to call police for a disturbance at Malacon on September 5th. And Alicia, Namako,
So on that particular incident, we were unable to find a witness to come and testify. So Alicia suggested that that matter be dismissed for lack of a cooperating witness.
Okay. Alicia, do you have anything to add to this?
Forgive me, I was on another call with Ed.
Oh, sorry.
Could you just update me?
Yeah, this is the final hearing from Malacon for the failure to call police for a disturbance on September 5th, and we don't have a witness.
And that's correct.
Okay, so the recommendation is to dismiss the violation?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? No. Okay, due to the fact that we do not have a witness for this violation, I make a motion that we dismiss it. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, that is dismissed. And Attorney Hagan, we will see you on March 24th.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay.
Do we have new violations? And the answer is yes. We have a very unusual violation at level 5, which is in Mason Square. This is the old Q barbecue restaurant, I believe. Yeah. So on January 21st, 2021, officers responded to 890 Main Street, the level 5 restaurant, for an assault and battery. Officers located the calling party, who is an employee, who told the officers he went to his place of employment to speak with the owner about his duties as head chef. The employee stated that the conversation turned into an argument, and he advised the owner he was quitting. He stated he then went into the kitchen area to retrieve his personal kitchen tools and property. He added that the owner, assisted by 2 unnamed males, then pushed him into a pool table, and the owner punched him in the face. Officers noted that the victim's right eye was swollen and there was some blood on his right cheek. The victim admitted being intoxicated and that it wasn't a fair fight. The victim added that the owner told him to return tomorrow to collect his belongings. Officers also spoke to the owner, who was on scene. The owner stated the head chef showed up to discuss his duties and that he asked him to wait until the close of business when they could sit down and talk about the issues. The owner stated the chef had been drinking and had him sit down to eat while waiting. The owner stated the chef pressed the issue and started to cause a disturbance in the restaurant. He admitted that he pushed and struck the chef out of fear of physical attack, as the chef had taken a fighting position. The owner indicated no other males were involved in the altercation and that the chef was welcome to return the following day to retrieve his personal property. The employee chef was transported to the hospital by ambulance for further medical care, and he was advised to seek his own complaint in court. SPD has requested level 5 restaurant, DBA level 5 restaurant, located at 890 State Street. Rasan Jacobs, manager of record, be charged with the following violation of 201 CMR 2.052. No licensee for the sale of alcoholic beverage shall permit any disorder, disturbance, or illegality of any kind to take place in or on the licensed premises. The licensee shall be responsible whether present or not. 3 counts, to wit, failure to call police and reported disturbance, 2, allowing permitting a assault and battery on a licensed premise, and 3, violation of the security plan, failure to provide interior video footage. So thoughts? Pre-hearing conference?
Yes.
Yes. All right, I make a motion for a pre-hearing conference on this violation. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. We have another violation or report, actually, on Frank's Package Store, trespassing and possession of a Class B substance, February 3rd, 2021. February 3rd, 2021 at about 7:26 p.m. Officers arrested a known male at Frank's Package Store located 11 Dickinson Street for trespassing and possession of a Class B substance. The arrest report narrative indicates the officers responded to this location in response to a complaint from the staff about a male on their property who had an active trespass order. The officers noted this male was well known and has been warned numerous times to remain away from Frank's Package Store. As officers arrived on scene, they immediately recognized the male standing right next to the front door of the store. Officers placed the male under arrest. During the booking process at 130 Pearl Street, a small amount of crack cocaine was discovered on his person. The arresting officers added that this male is a frequent nuisance to the residents and the business owners in Springfield, as he flagrantly disregards trespass orders, city ordinances, and mass general laws. SPD requests the report to be submitted to the License Commission for their review. So it doesn't appear that the licensee did anything wrong here. It's just being pestered by this person who doesn't seem to take a hint that he's not welcome there. So I would make a motion that no violation in this instance, or to take no action on this violation. Do I hear a second?
Okay. Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Okay, so no.
Can you hear me? Yes.
I heard you. Yeah. So we're going to take no action on this one. Take no action. And that's it. Anything else?
No.
No. All right. Enjoy the warm air while we have it. And I will.
Is Attorney Day still there?
Yes, she is. I think.
Oh, she's probably not there. Okay.
Oh, she got her. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is. I just wanted to just say it was a great picture of you and your son. That picture should be shown nationally.
Wait, which picture, Andrew?
That was the one that it was kind of like you and your son were together. It was a shot on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was just a wonderful picture.
Well, I've got a proud mama moment. Another proud mama moment. My son is an intern on the Today Show.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And he was on.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn until March 10th. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Commissioner Cade?
Yes.
Commissioner Espinosa?
Yes.
Commissioner Signature, yes. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.